Hi, welcome to my living room, and we're going to do some gentle yoga today. Maybe if you have a block, it would be handy, or something that you could utilize like a block. Get creative. We'll use it both as a handle and a support. We're going to get started on our backs. Rolling all the way down onto your back. Leave your knees bent with your soles of your feet connected to the earth. Allow the weight of the body to settle into the ground. The palms are soft and open to the sky. And you feel the breath come all the way into the body. Sigh it out. Again. We begin to settle into our practice. We've carved out this space and time to take whole breaths, to stay present and gently move our body. Let's start by taking our feet wide as the mat. You can feel the wood or the ground with your pinky toes. And we're going to rock the knees from side to side, rolling onto the blades of the feet. Nice and slow, you feel the massage on the sacrum. And you focus on that smooth rhythm of breath flowing in through the nose and out through the nose. And no matter what else you have going on around you, you decide to stay on this little pocket of space and time on your mat, breathing in and breathing out. It's a choice to be present. Finding your center, we're going to draw the knees into the chest, not too tight, just a little hug. And we'll leave the right knee in, getting long through the left leg. I want you to do something with your left toes. You could flare them, you could point them, you could flex them, but that foot is alive as you draw the right knee into the chest. You might feel a smush in the belly, and you use that sensation to give a place for the breath to go, breathing deep into the low belly. Your left hand comes to the left hip head, and we can roll that right knee out to the right. Your left hand reminding that left side to stay anchored. Gentle rolls. The knee comes back to center. Draw the left knee in to meet the right, and we trade sides here. Right leg getting long. Activate the toes in some way. And drawing the left knee into the chest, we breathe again. All the way in and all the way out. Giving our body this nourishing breath, spreading it to every cell in the body. Right hand comes to the right hip head as you roll and open that left hip. Letting the socket move like a ball and socket. Find your mind drifting away from your practice, you bring it back. You draw both knees into the chest. And let's send the soles of the feet up to the sky, and at the same time, let's reach our back behind us. So we're getting long through our limbs. Inhale, and we'll be long. Exhale, we're gonna bend our knees and let our heels draw towards our tush. And at the same time, our arms are long and they reach down by the sides of our body. So inhale, lengthen and extend. Feet to the sky, hands behind you. Exhale, release. And so we sync our breath with our movement. The simple Kriya, creating rhythm between our movement and our breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale and fold. You can hold on behind the thighs and either rocking forward and back, or maybe you roll off to one side and press up to a seat. You'll come to your seat, crossing your legs, sitting upright in the spine. Take a nice big breath in and out. Think of your spine like a long spoon in a pot. It stays nice and straight as you begin to roll in circles. It doesn't matter which way, we'll go both. But you begin to stir the pot. Your eyes can be opened or closed. You might start to notice a rhythm beginning to appear. You might be inhaling as you come forward and then exhaling as you roll back. It might be opposite. But the breath is smooth and full. Roll back the other way. Next time that you pass the front, go ahead and fold for just a moment. Keep that flat back and let's take our fingers out wide, and we're going to take this roll and create more of a sweep. So we're just exploring the front half. And with your hands, it will help you. And when it feels comfortable to you, maybe you add an extension of the arm so that you're sweeping the body from one side to the other. Take this movement slow at first. Make it a bit of a dance. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you fold. And so you move with the breath, or maybe the breath moves you. Last one. You fold in the center, allow the spine to round down. Three breaths. And then rolling all the way up to your seat. We're going to make our way onto all fours. And so bringing your palms underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We find all fours. I like my palms slightly wider than my shoulders, and the same with my knees, just a little bit wider than my hips for a lot of support. From here, we're going to take a few simple cat-cows, getting long through the spine, and then tucking the tail, arching and rounding as you fold. Inhale, get long, pull the heart forward while you pull the tail back. Tucking tail, rounding as you release the breath. Last one. We're going to roll onto our right knee and our right palm. I like to kick my foot behind me, coming into a supported side plank. So my knee remains directly underneath my hip and my palm is directly underneath my shoulder so that I have a lot of stability. And then we're gonna reach that left arm all the way up to the sky and maybe all the way over so you have like a long rainbow happening from your left fingers to your left toes. Breathe in, let your heart lift just a tiny bit to the sky. And then returning to center, exploring the second side, your left palm connects under your shoulder, your left knee under your left hip, and you kick that left foot out. So now you'll get a view from the rear. But let's reach that right arm all the way up and over, again like a rainbow. Your right fingers on one end, your right toes on the other. Reach long, breathe up. And return to center. Take your knees wide. This will be the last thing we do on our knees for a moment. Your knees are nice and wide. I like to bring my toes together as you slide back into child's pose, arms extended in front of you. Let the weight of your body sink you deeper into the earth. And then sliding back towards all fours, we're going to begin our slow flow. Yeah? So this is what I like to think of as a soft vinyasa. We take every shortcut possible. Yeah? We're going to roll down onto our bellies. So we're going to shift forward, and then with control, we're going to roll down pubic bone, belly button, heart, and then our face hovers. Our fingertips come out wide. So if we stuck our elbows up in the air, our hands would be directly under our elbows. Yeah? And then we inhale, pressing the tops of our feet into the floor, our pubic bone into the floor. We inhale and lift, cobra. Release. Try that a couple more times. Only come as high as it feels comfortable in the body. Inhale, grounding through the tops of the feet and the pubic bone. One more. We tuck the toes under. The palms come underneath for support. We tuck the elbows tight to the body. We use our knees and we roll up. Heart, belly button, pubic bone to all fours. Our palms are setting up for down dog. So they're not under the shoulders. They come about a palm's length in front. Tucking our toes, our feet are hip distance, and we send our tail high into the air. Our spine gets as long as possible, so let's start with a big bend in the knees. Long arms, a long spine, and then if it's available, we start to lengthen through the legs. Breathe. Let's take a few big sighs, in through the nose, sigh through the mouth. Start to tippy-toe your toes forward, bend your knees a lot. Use that for support. Coming towards the front of your mat with a giant bend in your knees, you come to a full fold. Release your arms, let them hang, let your head hang heavy. Keep that generous bend in the knees. It's really important to stay soft in the low back. Begin rolling up with that giant bend in the knees, strong legs, bring you to standing. Your shoulders, your face lift. Inhale, reach the arms to scoop breath in. And then exhale, hinging at the hips. Bend your knees again, dive down. With that bend in the knees, you roll up. You gather breath with your wings and your nose. Hinge at the hips, dive down. Keep moving and breathing. Rolling up to standing, gathering that breath as you lift to the sky. Heart is open and lifted, filling up, and then releasing into the earth. I like to close my eyes through these sometimes. If you find your mind wandering, you bring it back to the breath, maybe even connecting like a mantra to your breathing so that you have something to say internally. I'm filling up and I'm letting go. Last one. So as you fold, we'll all hang here, coming together. Let's take our hands to the earth. So you might have to bend your knees a whole lot to bring your hands shoulder width apart and walk your feet back. You come to that plank position, the knees drop and you roll to the earth. Pubic bone, belly button, heart. Tops of the feet flip down. Hands come out on past the mat. Lifting up, inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Toes tuck, hands come in tight. Rolling up, heart, belly button, pubic bone. All fours to down dog. Tail lifts, spine gets long. Breathe. Tippy-toe your toes to meet your fingers. You find that fold with the big bend in the knees. You're hanging the head and arms and you roll up to standing. Gathering the breath, we feel a gentle warm come into the body. Release, fold one more time. We're warming the body on purpose. As you fold, you bend the knees enough to bring the hands down. You step the feet back. You're in the top of a push-up. You bring the knees down and roll with control. Hands come out wide. Roll the spine up. Roll the spine down. Tuck the toes under. Strong arms roll you up. All fours to down dog. 3 breaths. You tippy-toe your toes to meet your fingers. Bending your knees. Finding the fold. Roll all the way up. Gather the breath. Palms connect and we're going to draw down to heart center. The face bows. Maybe you contemplate why you practice. What it gives you, how you feel after, how you behave after. Knowing why it's important makes it easier to form a habit and commit to practicing on a regular basis. Release the palms open in front of you. We're going to come into warrior one. We're going to do the left side first. So let's step the right foot back and we stay hip distance with our feet. So imagine there are lines painted down your mat that are hip distance apart. We are sliding the right foot down that right line and it steps back and turns about 45 degrees with the foot. And when that happened, your right hip probably went back. Yeah? We want to try and take both hip heads and point them forward. We're bending in this left knee. The knee is directly over the ankle. Our hips are pointing forward. We're pressing through the back foot as much as we're bending through the front knee. And then we're not just dumping in the low back, we're lifting that heart high. We find this warrior one stance, our shoulders roll back, our palms face forward, our face lifts up, we're breathing. And we're going to use this stance, gathering with our arms and with our breath. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Our legs are moving. So as you breathe in, you might lose a little of the bend in the front knee. And as you breathe out, as you regain the bend, press through the back foot. Exhale. Press the arms out. Gather something in. Let something go. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one. Breathe in soft, take the arms up. Maybe look up. And then as you exhale, we're going to lengthen through the front leg and pitch over into pyramid pose. This is where it might be handy to have a block. I really like a block in this shape. Sacrum's nice and even. You can even touch it with your hand to check it. Maybe you're completely straight through the front leg. Maybe there's a little give if you're tight through the hamstrings. Feel like you're dropping your right hip, and at the same time you're pulling this left femur up into the hip socket. Breathe whole breaths, long straight spine. Bow into the shape, rounding the spine intentionally, soft. Moving the block, bending the knee, pressing through the back foot to anchor you, lifting up into warrior one. Arms might lift, face might lift, and let's step to the front of the mat, hands heart center. You feel the difference in the two sides. We'll even it out. Your palms release forward, your heart lifts, your face lifts. You might even turn up the corners of your mouth, little smile. Left foot stays on that left line, the imaginary line we drew. And as we step back, it goes warrior style, a little 45-degree angle. And naturally the left hip pulled back, so you pull it forward. Again, maybe grab your body and tell it what to do, yeah? I'm very hands-on and I'm not there to put my hands on your hip, but you can. So roll the left hip forward. Find that bend in the front knee. And then getting long through the spine. So you lift your chest to lengthen the spine. You roll your shoulders back. Arms are by the sides, palms forward. Breathing. Let's use the breath. Let's use the pose. Inhale, gather something in. Don't name it. Exhale, let it out. Your body's so intelligent, so wise. It knows what you need more of and what you need less of. Trust and breathe. One more. Draw it in. Let it go. And then softly inhale, taking the arms up to the sky. And fold forward, getting long through the front leg, finding your pyramid pose, which again, might use a block. Your left hand would go on the block. Maybe you have two of them. You get long through that right leg, pulling that thigh bone up into the hip while you drop the left hip head. You find a nice flat shape through the spine, like a table. Remember to use your cervical spine as part of the spine, so don't be looking forward, kinking the back of the neck. Drop your face to the earth so that the crown of the head is reaching forward. Smooth, whole breaths. Rounding, folding deeper into the shape. Press through the back foot as you bend through the front knee so you can rise up into the shape. And then let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Taking your feet about hip distance apart. Actually, no, let's go wider. Let's take a nice wide stance, maybe closer to the width of your mat. We're gonna swim our arms a bit, yeah? So let's start by swimming backwards. Let it move your body. So notice how the trunk of my body moves as I swim the arms back. It's a nice free movement, not a lot of rules. Just let your shoulders roll. Let's swim forward. So again, it moves my whole body. Let it move you. Be creative with it. A little bit of a dance. And then finding center, we're going to do some twisting. So I'll do it sideways and then front on so you can see. But our feet are nice and wide. We hinge at the hip. So I have a nice flat back, but I've hinged. So it feels like you're sticking your butt out a little bit because you are. Your arms are nice and loosey-goosey. And we're going to twist from side to side with our trunk. My knees are bent. I do let my hips move. It's a gentle swinging twist. Kind of like you're gonna swing a golf club, which I don't do a whole lot of, but if I were to. Yeah. I stay light in my fingers, almost like you're flicking water. And I breathe, smooth breaths. Yeah, so just continue that movement. Maybe you look from side to side. Maybe you sigh out through the mouth. There's a lightness in the body, a releasing. And then you slow your movement, finding center. Stay wide through the feet, definitely as wide as the mat, while we interlace our hands behind us. If you don't comfortably reach your hands, grab a t-shirt or a hand towel or a strap. But we're gonna bend the knees, fold forward. Hands reaching to the sky as much as they can. If flexibility allows, you don't have to keep the bend in the knees. Three more breaths. Releasing the hands, bend the knees, rolling up to standing. We're going to come down into the earth. Yeah. So if it's in your range, we can come through the squat. Otherwise, know that we are coming down onto our seat. So maybe coming wide, bending the knees, arms come forward, and you practice coming through the squat. But if your knees say no thank you, just sit on down. We're gonna work through a stretch with our legs straddled. We're gonna take our time. Again, maybe you use this as a support. Maybe you use something else, a rolled up blanket or a pillow. The legs are open wide. The knees and the toes are active and up to the sky. Yeah, so nothing's rolling in like so. They're up. And we're gonna start by hinging at the waist, staying flat in the back, coming forward. So maybe your hands come to the earth. Maybe it's your elbows. Maybe the forehead comes down onto the block. You notice if your jaw is tight. You take smooth, whole breaths all the way into the body, releasing them all the way out of the body. Nothing is forced. We're just exploring. You respect your edge. You're fully listening to the information that your body provides you. We come on up. We're gonna return. We're gonna do a little half Baddha Konasana in the meantime. So we're gonna bring in that left leg first. I'll mirror you. And as we bring in the left leg, the sole of the foot is in the dead center line of your body. And you're gonna use your left hand to connect to it. So full Baddha Konasana, both feet come in, but we're just doing half. So we leave the right leg out, bring the left leg in, and connect your right hand to your left foot. Bring your left hand out in front of you to support you as you hinge forward, folding. Keep a little pressure between the sole of the foot and the palm of the hand. Again, the jaw is soft. The mind is open. Couple more breaths, exploring the shape, the sensations that arise. There's a story being told. Internally, are you listening? Are you honoring? Come back to center. And we'll change sides. So your right leg gets long. Sorry. Left leg gets long, right leg folds in. Bring your left hand to the sole of your right foot as you hinge over, second side, half Baddha Konasana. If you feel like your breath isn't full, take a big breath in and sigh it out through the mouth. Last breath. You rise up, no hurry. Extend long through that right leg. And now we explore the full straddle fold again. So if you like that support for your head, you hinge forward, knees and toes remain to the sky. and you surrender into this shape. It's important that you don't push your edge too hard, or you miss that beautiful sense of comfort and surrender that can be found in these shapes. You find a place you can breathe and still be in the realm of comfort. You begin to ease out of the shape, drawing the legs in. We're going to roll onto our backs. Now we're just going to get comfier and comfier. And as our practice gets quieter and quieter, I hope that internally you keep that sense of quiet and stillness. Don't let the mind start to wander and chatter just because things are slowing down even more. Stay with this. Full breaths. Roll down slowly. Hold on behind the thighs, rolling down onto your back. Draw the knees into your chest and rock from left to right, massaging where the kidneys set. We're going to set the feet on the earth. They're about hip distance. The arms open, the palms are to the sky, and we're going to take a twist. So let's roll the knees over to the left side, stacking knee on knee, ankle on ankle to start. Probably your right shoulder lifted. Let's take the arms out like a T, palms to the sky, and feel a sense of weight in that right shoulder as though it's a magnet reaching towards the earth. Don't force it. And breathe. We'll be here 7 more breaths. Settle in. Your awareness brings you back to the center. You even out the hips, maybe by lifting the hips once or twice, just a couple inches. And then rolling the knees to the right, stacking hip on hip, knee on knee, ankle on ankle. The left shoulder likely lifts up, and it's that reaching of your weighted left shoulder towards the earth that creates a deeper twist in the spine. Don't force it. Let gravity, let breath do the work. thoughts come, you witness them and you let them go. We roll back to center. We're going to grab our blocks remaining on our backs. Our feet come hip distance. And we're going to come into a supported bridge. I encourage you to use probably the low height, maybe the middle height of the block. I like low. So if you don't have a block, again, be creative. Maybe fold up some towels. Beach towels are nice and firm. Or maybe you use a big thick book, right? And put the towel over the top of it. We're going to lift our hips. And as we do, we're pressing the soles of the feet into the ground. We keep our neck nice and neutral, not looking around. And we slide the block underneath our sacrum. So the sacrum comes dead center on the block, which means it's sort of in between our low back and our tush. As we settle our weight down, we open our arms, probably off of the mat, palms to the sky, and truly allow the weight of your hips to settle and be supported on the block. You rest. You put down the weights that we carry. This is not a time of work. It's not a time of caring for others or caring for ourselves is what we're doing here. We're nurturing the breath, focusing on relaxation. The ability to soften is worthy of your time to practice. The ability to breathe smooth, whole breaths is worthy of your time to practice. Connecting to your center is worthy of your time. Our feet are still hip distance. You take a nice big breath. Your feet connect to the earth as you lift the hips slowly, just an inch or two above the block. And with your hands, one of them pushes the block and the other one takes it. You slide it to the side and then take your time rolling down each vertebrae one at a time until your tail settles into the earth. Let's draw our knees into our chest, coming into happy baby. So first a tight hug, and then reaching our arms inside of our knees, and then our hands outside of our feet onto the outer blades of our feet. Our soles of our feet are up to the sky, and probably your tail lifted a little, so let your tail draw towards the earth, anchoring you. Sometimes we rock. This time maybe find stillness, settling into our final shape. We release. Our legs are going to get long and wide towards the corners of your mat or beyond. The feet open. They're floppy. Yeah? Maybe shake them a little side to side and then let them land, roll towards the outsides. Our arms mimic the legs coming out wide, palms up. I like to tuck my shoulder blades under just a little and settle into the ground. You release the body into the earth for this final Shavasana, this final resting pose. Remaining on your backs. In this shape, you continue to rest. You stay there as long as you like. Receiving the benefits of your practice. Connecting, meditating. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.